Hello everyone, my name is Jeff and I'm back again for another review. Today I will be talking about the 2021 Netflix film The Guilty, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and directed by Antoine Fuqua. The Guilty is about a 911 operator named Joe who has temporarily been demoted from his regular police officer position due to something that he's done, and he's not happy about this. He's going off on everybody, callers and his coworkers, and basically he hates the world. So he then gets this call from a 911 call from this woman who claims that she's been kidnapped, and he somehow gets very attached to this woman because there's a child involved in the situation. And so he goes out of his way to try to help, but that gets him in more trouble than he probably needed to be in. Basically, as the story progresses, it unravels and it shows that not everything is as it seems. When I watched The Guilty, I had no idea about this movie. I didn't know that it was a Danish remake. I didn't watch the trailer. I just put it on because Jake Gyllenhaal starred in it. I'm a huge Jake Gyllenhaal fan, and he does not disappoint in this film. I think that his acting was superb. He showed so many different emotions. His character Joe was incredibly unlikable, and I think he portrayed that very well. He was just, without a better description, he was just an asshole, and he was angry, and maybe he had reasons to be angry, but the way that he took it out on other people probably isn't the best. I think he made decisions where it probably wasn't the best way to handle a tense situation. One of the things that I think this film could have done better is maybe not make him so too unlikable. I understand that we're supposed to dislike his character, I'm assuming, but I think they made him so unlikable to the point where early on in the film it kind of made me not want to watch, because I was like, I'm not rooting for this guy. This story is told through Joe's perspective only, so that's the only character that we follow, the only character we really get to know. All of the other characters all the minor characters are all phone calls that are people from Joe's life, and we don't really get to really know them that much. We just kind of get little hints as to what part they play in his life and how they tie to the story and whatever issue he's dealing with that he's gonna have to be dealing with very soon in court. I did find that having so many characters that he was calling out to made it a little bit more confusing for me, just because I couldn't really tell. I couldn't remember some of the characters' names that he kept calling, and the voices as well were kind of getting mixed up at times. And I was like, wait, was that the guy that he called a minute ago, or is this a different one? And so I just thought that it was kind of an interesting perspective in the way that they told the story. I'm not gonna lie, I debated whether I should do a video about this movie or not, because I guess it can be kind of controversial. I understand that the point of this film was probably to get a specific message across, and this film, in my opinion, is about self-reflection and basically just coming to terms with your actions and stepping up and doing the right thing at the end of the day, because that doesn't get done enough these days. There's an undercurrent of wokeness in this film, which won't go into, but it's definitely there, and you kind of recognize it early on. Obviously, it's relevant to current times, with the Black Lives Matter and and the police. So I think that the message that this film gets across at the end of the film is a good message. It basically says that you need to look at yourself really hard in the mirror, and you may have not meant it, or maybe you did, but it's about owning up to your mistakes and doing the right thing and being better and fessing up for what you did. Overall, I have to give The Guilty a 7 out of 10 stars. I think the film is good to watch on a night when there's nothing on. It'll definitely captivate you, but it's not anything that you haven't probably seen before. If there's anything that you need to watch this film for, it's Jake Gyllenhaal's performance. when he portrays the emotions, whether it's anger or sadness or concern, like you really truly believe it, and you just want to, like, you kind of just want to tell this guy, like, don't do that. Like, he just doesn't know any better, or maybe he does, but he lets his emotions dictate his actions, and that's what always ends up getting him in trouble. It's like, just do your job and go home. Like, don't try to do more than what you're supposed to do, because it gets him in trouble. And so I think that he's great. This film was entertaining, but I felt like they could have pushed a little harder. They could have maybe made the plot a little thicker and done something not as predictable. I saw the twist coming very early on in the film, and I pretty much figured he did something similar to what ended up being the reason why he was demoted in the first place. And so I think that, yes, this is an important film. I think that it opens up a conversation that I think we've been having for the last year or so, but it's something that doesn't need to go away, and we need to continue to have these discussions about our justice system and all of us, as a society, and how we're affected by it. And I think that this film gives a good message. You have to own up to your mistakes. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked the video, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on the next review.